Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Muad coming to you again. Highway, byway, bring on this gospel truth. To edify the whole fleet of Yasharala, so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. Also to let the two-thirds know that it's time to repent, turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And also to let these other nations know, starting with Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, your time mocking and oppressing the children of Yasharala is coming to an end. Before we get started, let's turn to the east, give all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akash. Upon us, likewise, brothers and sisters, thank you, fearless, brothers and sisters, tune in, Shalom. Now, we know what took place yesterday here in Great Babylon, America, where we know spiritually it's Caesar Nero or ex-President Donald J. Trump. Now, I'm not going into that today. I'm going to observe, and like the other brothers who do lessons, of course, we know that this is something that's going to have a profound effect on the lives of people here in Great Babylon, America. However, we're going to go into Yasharala today, okay, and we're going to see that America does not profit. America does not profit the Hebrew Israelites. Okay? America does not profit the Israelites. Let's go to the first book here. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 5. And verse 7 reads, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the days of vengeance." And our people assume that they're safe here, that life is going to continue on as usual, business as usual. We've seen it daily. You know, you brothers go down the highway and the byway, you see, you know, the cars that drive by, you know, sometimes they scoff, sometimes they look, sometimes they ignore, okay? And people don't see the value in what the men of the Lord are doing. Because it's hard to believe that men that look like us, that speaks like us, or the elect, or are the servants of the Hamashiach. It's very difficult for them to see that. And this is especially more difficult for those that are in the tribe of Israel to see that. Because nobody looks down on you more than someone that looks like you. Nobody looks down on you more than someone that looks like you. And some of you probably experienced that where you might have been elevated, okay, by another tribe, but amongst your own tribesmen, you are always constantly pushed down because a nigger has got to get over you, okay? And this is what we have here, which is the reason why you see they're very stubborn, okay, on listening to the warnings that is coming from men that looks like them. Okay, you go into Jeremiah 5, starting with verse 20. The book of Jeremiah 5, and starting with verse 20. Because there's a lack of fear, there's a lack of belief. You know, they trust in worldly snares, you know, from slick Hebrew Israelites. So, if I want to have a congregation out here, I can set up a table with some cookies or free giveaway or prize or whatever case is, a free t-shirt, you know. Hey, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, free t-shirt, you know, cold ice water or Kool-Aid or whatever else you and I out here. And this parking lot right here will be full of people, okay? People will be driving, turn around to come and get free stuff, because this is what our people is always seeking. Our people is always seeking some form of reward in order for them to hearken onto this world. Let's see here. This is Jeremiah 5. That's how verse 20 says, "Declare this in the house of Jacob," which is the 12 tribe of Israel, "and publish it in Judah, saying, Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not." So the Lord is calling our people foolish. You all want to hear, okay? But those of us that actually heard this gospel of truth, we actually hearkened to it. Those of us who saw that the men that were putting it out there, you know, are possibly of the men or the servant of the Yahushua Mashiach, okay, we saw them and then we hear them and we acknowledge that this is the true gospel, okay, of the Lord. It says, "Fear ye not me, said the Lord Yahushua, will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bounds of the sea by perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it. And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it." Esau is doing whatever it takes, whatever it takes to either fulfill prophecy, you know, to go his way. Okay. Now I'll bring out something, and I'll go more in depth with this in a lesson over the next couple of days as I look at that footage of what took place in Trump, because you know, in the Christianity world, they believe that the Antichrist is actually an individual who got shot in the head or wounded in the head, and somehow he healed from it, and then come out and then he's going to rule the world. And henceforth, it seems like that was a mockery towards that, because the majority of the Christian world believe that this wound is actually of an individual, a man, who is going to rise up and rule the world. Okay, that's just me when I saw it like that, because it's just strange that, you know, it was in the head, okay, and he's still alive. You know, so I'll be curious to see how the Christian actually take a look at that. Because that's what I used to hear back in the day about how the Antichrist is ruled. And we know that the Antichrist or the Anti-Mashiach, okay, is those that don't believe at all. So they're in the billions, okay? Billions of Anti-Mashiach, okay, or what they call Antichrist. It's just not an individual. And we know that beast system is, okay, the kingdom of Edom, the NATO, okay, who combined together is going to terrorize the entire earth. Okay, continuing, it says, "But this people had a revolting and rebellious side, their rebellious revolt and gone. Neither say they in their heart, let us now fear the Lord, Yahweh Shai, our power, and give it rain, both the former and the latter, in the season, reserve it unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have been For among my people are found wicked men, they lay wait as he that set a snare. They set a trap to catch men." We know these churches are set up for that, because Jacob's attracted to power, or what perceived to be power. You know, you have these people like Creflo Dollar and T.D. Jakes, and look at IUIC, in which they have, you know, their leaders tend to exalt themselves in a manner that requires a lot of attention or a lot of praises. So they're more about you praising the leaders, okay, rather than praising the creator. You praising the man versus praising the creator. So that's the mindset, okay, that is amongst our people that they don't snare, okay? So find yourself in that way where you're trying to exalt yourself or exalt a particular organization, whatever cases like that. In reality, what you're trying to do is doing a psychological, you know, entanglement of the sheep, where they would then turn around and worshiping you than worshiping the Creator. So what is the idea of these churches? Is it about praising and giving glory and honor to Yahweh Shai, or is it praising and giving glory and honor to the preacher? Okay? And if you have wicked men amongst our tribe, they are going to lead our people to the slaughter. They're going to lead our people towards Esau. Esau ways. This is the reason why when you talk about the jump Jews, you see leaders, you see wicked men, okay, coercing Jakes into rolling up their sleeves and allowing that venom juice to be introduced into them. Okay, likewise with the MOTV or the mouth of the beast. Okay, they're going to be full on promoting it. Okay, along with everything else that's going on, the political stuff. If you're dealing with Yahweh Shemel Shai, why are you concerned as a Hebrew Israelite? Okay, about the political, you know, the political things that are happening here in Great Babylon, America, you should not be voting for any of these governments or any of these kings that are here. Okay? But we know that there's great manipulation that's going on amongst our tribe. Let's go into the book of Amos. Let's go into the book of Amos 3. Start with verse 1. When we look at our tribe, we're the only ones that was actually given the laws. Okay? We were the only ones that was given the law from Yahweh Shem Shai. So Yahweh Shem Shai is going to deal with us as a family or as a group. For those brothers who actually serve like in boot camp, who actually serve in the service, you know, you remember in boot camp, you know, when the drill sergeant would smoke the squad, it would be usually an individual that did something that would cause a whole squad or platoon to get smoked. So they would come and say, well, look, everybody, you know, half left face, front leading rest position, move. And then you go down and they do the 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. It could be push-ups, it could be flutter kicks, you know, but it's because somebody or a particular person in that platoon did something that warrants punishment. Likewise, you know, in the tribe of Israel, we could all say, well, all of us was not complaining in the desert when we were taken over Egypt. All of us weren't complaining throughout our lives, okay? But why am I getting punished? You know, for those that are actually doing things. Let's go into the book of Amos and see exactly why. This is the book of Amos 3, it's how verse 1 it reads, hear the word that the Lord Yahweh Shemashai had spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt. See? Whole family. So everybody saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, and that family can be tribes. So we are a family as a 12 tribe. That is a family. Edom, the Edomites, they're a family. Okay? Moab, the Moabites, they're a family. Ammon, go on and on and on. They're a family. And it says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Okay? Can two walk together except they agree? And the answer to that is no. Okay? If you don't agree, you cannot walk together. It's just that simple. Okay? So we can't walk with people out there in the world as far as how we view things. We view things from a first spiritual sense. When you deal with somebody out there in the world, they're viewing it from, you know, the carnal sense of like, well, I've got a future. I've got a 5-year plan. Okay, after I retire from the service, I'm going to go get me, you know, a nice government job or collect my retirement check, plus, you know, my government pay or whatever job you get out there. So they're thinking in terms of double dipping. Okay, they looking at problems, and their problems and how they view problems is very worldly. They don't see that any type of problem that you have in your life is tribulation that's coming from the Lord, no matter how trivial it might seem. It might not be severe, it might be severe. Okay, but that's just Lord, how He judges us. They don't see it like that. They see it as a blame game of somebody. You know, a guy getting screwed over by his wife would assume it's just a woman, but it's like, no, didn't it say, roughly paraphrasing, a wicked woman is given to a wicked man as a portion? Okay, basically, if you're a man that's wicked, your reward is going to be a wicked woman. And that woman can bring, especially in the Bible America, a lot of strife and a lot of tribulation in your life. Okay? But we were the only tribe that was given the laws, okay, which was, you have the dietary laws, okay, you have the laws in which we are not to worship idols or other gods. You have the laws of adultery, okay, the laws of how we would conduct ourselves, okay, and we break every single one of them. In fact, even though we're brothers in this teaching, each and every one of us still struggling daily, you know, against the flesh. Okay, this includes things that are revolving around in your mind, whatever's in your mind. Okay, you're struggling against it. Okay, because here you are in the truth, but at the same time too, you're still physically in this world. People bother with you, or they get on your nerve, or you see the faggots walking around, or it could be anything. You know, it could be anything that can just get under your skin, or just, you know, you want to retaliate in a certain way. But you always have to think, just before you allow yourself to go into that direction, okay, this is not the way that Mashiach wants us to walk. Okay? Let's go into Proverbs 27:1, because again, Jake them have a very boasting spirit. And one of the reasons why, you know, they can't really fathom what we're saying is something that's actually going to come to pass is because when you follow Esau, you will develop that boasting spirit. Okay? You will develop that boasting spirit. Okay? You will develop a boasting spirit. So this is Proverbs 27, and starting with verse 1. It's not here. 27, so verse 1, it says, "Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth." Now, we're going to go into some examples of that. Because any of you remember what there, if you sit down in a job interview, they will go, "Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?" And you go, "Well, I see myself blah, 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 you know, supervisor or manager, blah, blah, blah." And this is common amongst Esau. Esau likes to talk about what he's going to do. I, and that's the mentality we have here in Great Babylon, America. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this next week. I'm going to do this next year. I have goals and plans. This is my, you know, yearly goal today. This is what I plan on doing 3 months from now. I plan to do all of these things. And this is that spirit that's here in Great Babylon, America. Let's go into Luke and let's take a look at examples of this boasting spirit. Okay? Because we've all done it. We've all done it, okay? We've all sat down. I can speak for myself. I've sat down and wrote 2-year, 3-year, 4-year, 10-year plans, okay? Step by step of exactly what I want to do or want to achieve, okay? And so we've all done it, okay? But we're told not to do that because we don't know what tomorrow brings. Because again, we have to understand that the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, really is actually in charge of the way we walk. So this is the book of Luke 12, and starting with verse 16, and it reads, "And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain man, rich man, brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow out my fruits." So again, we bring it all the time. If riches increase, don't set your heart on them, because it's what the prophet says, "Trust not in oppression," okay, and in riches, because if it increase, don't put your heart on them. So yes, there's going to be Jakes, you know, in this truth and out of the truth, that may have, you know, enough, okay, or may even have plenty. All right. Remember, we all come from different walks of life. But again, you don't boast about what you have, and don't boast about what you have. Okay. It says. He said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and any goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much good laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. So again, you know, but Jake's are comfortable in the world. You can go to a well-off Jake. When I say well-off Jake, a Jake that's, you know, probably got multiple millions of dollars or whatever, you know, get a very established circle of friends. You know, they fall, they don't even fall far, they just fall, they could barely fall, and they're caught up. So they're in that ease. This ministry would not benefit them, because we're talking about poverty, we're talking about family, we're talking about persecution, and these type of people in those particular positions, and that kind of wealth, don't have to worry about that. And I'm talking about Jake, and I'm talking about the Jake family. We're not talking about the least wealth, okay? We're talking about the poor being calm. But it says, "But power said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul should be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided?" so is he that laid up treasure for himself and is not rich towards power. And he said unto his disciple, therefore I say unto you, take no thought of your life, what ye shall eat, neither for the body, what ye shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. So, if you have something, it's not really for you to really, dwell on it to the point of like, well, I don't need Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Well, yes, you do. You might not need the guy standing next to you, or the guy standing behind you, or in front of you. But you do need Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And in most cases, people with this kind of spirit, the I spirit as far as boasting, usually they're putting all their trust on those that are standing immediately around them, their immediate circle. Okay? They're putting their trust in them. Because they're able, with their wealth, to retain a circle of phony-ass people around them. And that makes them feel good. That makes them feel powerful. Those are, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, elder, yes, Lord, and not the Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, whatever title Lord on this earth. Yes, my king, yes, my queen, they love that. They love that those accolades that they get from the ones that they're able to influence with their wealth. Right here it just said about the fact that the Lord required this man's soul because this man never gave him any glory or honor or thanks. He didn't look to do anything good with all of his wealth. Like, how about the poor that deserves it. Not just a nigger poor, okay? Not niggas, but I'm talking about the poor that deserve it. So poor, not a thief or a porn artist, okay? He was all about himself. He's going to expand on his richness, but he wasn't expanding on being spiritual, to serve the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. As I said, that he talked about that he wanted to rest. Well, wait a minute. If you have the ability where you don't have to work, or you don't have to go do, labor out there the way somebody else has to because you have enough wealth, that should give you more than enough time, okay, to labor for the Mashiach. Okay? That should give you enough time to labor for the Mashiach. Okay, we could use examples like, say, Cohen DeRedder and these other men out there that have the means, okay, to basically retire. They have the ability to basically, build a bunch of signs and have set up camps like all over Great Babylon, America. They have the ability to really stand out 7 days a week and do lessons or at least support the ministry, but they don't do that. Because they're all about expanding wealth. This is why you hear them brag about generational wealth. In other words, they want to expand from what they have right now, okay, to feed the lust of the flesh and not really spiritual about it. They're not concerned about feeding the sheep. They're not concerned about giving glory and honor to Yahweh. They're concerned about constantly expanding on the word. Let's go into Isaiah 14. You see another example of this, because this is exactly what Esau would have you thinking. And I noticed personally, because I thought about it the exact same way too. This is what happens when you under the grasp, okay, under the thumb of the devil, and or lead your life the way they lead their life. This is Isaiah 14, and starting with verse 13 reads, for thou hast said, this is talking about Esau now, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of power, I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. So this man is not looking to be just exalted here on this earth. This man wants to be like the Most High. And we can see how he's using this technology to try to get to that point. Because we don't actually have any proof. We haven't seen Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. He doesn't stick his head to his cloud and talk to the earth. Okay? So this is all faith-based. What's in the scriptures for us. But for most people, it's all fairy tale. I mean, if you ever actually meet an atheist you'll be shocked at the things that come out of their mouth, okay? It will stun you. It says, yeah, thou should be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So, let's put it this way. Boasting is death. Now, you would hear every brother, for the most part, I hear most brothers, will say, Lord willing. Lord willing. And tomorrow, Lord willing, I will paint my house. Tomorrow, Lord willing, I'll go grocery shopping. Lord willing. Why? Because you don't have control of our life, so you can't boast and say, tomorrow I'm going to paint, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. As if you were guaranteed. I know many members of my family, I used to call them Scrooge, because they were misers. They save everything. And the intention was to have a big nest or have enough cushion in the older days, in the older years, so that they could retire and live it up. Guess what? None of them live to see that. None of them. They all died. And whatever they was trying to save up or trying to, you know, whatever that long-term plan that they had, well, everybody else got to enjoy that currently. Okay? They didn't get to live to see it. They didn't get to live to see it. So all that sacrifice, all that, you know, being a miser, all of that, because you're thinking 20, 30 years in the future, bought them nothing. They all end up dying, various type of deaths, and their treasure was left for others to enjoy. Okay, and that is a real example right here. We go into, let's see that number 2 here, because again, this is the bragging spirit of Esau. Okay, we see that the Lord said that you can try to attempt to be like me, fool the earth with your technology, but at the end of the day, I'm going to bring you down to hell. And we know hell is a condition, which means that Esau is going to come down from his glory right now. But this is right now, believe it or not, we currently right now living in the white man's glory, and they're about to get to achieve to the highest point of their glory when they come up with AI, AKA, or etc., the MOTB, which is going to be the pinnacle point of Esau society, where everything is going to be AI generated. I just put out a short video clip which I'd like to move into that lesson concerning the fact that they have guns, okay, in vending machine in Alabama, Oklahoma, Texas. When you look at these states already, the gun laws in these states are actually pretty slack to begin with. And you also have the most craziest type of Edomites living in these states. I can guarantee right now, almost every car that's driving past me right now, everybody has a gun of sort, some type of gun. So now you can have these, you can purchase ammo, even a damn gun, out of a vending machine. Imagine that. So they can have it, they're going to be able to run your background right there and there, and then that machine is going to spit out bullets, and then even a gun. You can't even. You gotta understand that Jake Semmel or others are going to just break into these machines and try to take the doggone gun and weapon. I mean, this is going to turn into something not good at all. When you add that up along with the fact that there was a so-called attempted assassination of Donald Trump, boy, we can see where this is going to go. How convenient, you know. You can purchase ammo and weapons out of a vending machine, and you just had one of the most controversial presidents of the United States of America just got shot yesterday. All right? I mean, that's something to look at. I'm going to, Lord willing, probably can get into a lesson with that later on this week on basically what I'm seeing through the Spirit, where this could be too, because that sounds like that really brings out that 2nd Ezra 15 to mind. Civil unrest and the convenience of the sword. Okay, let's go to Revelation 18. We're going to start with 7. Book of Revelation 18. Start with 7. She glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, again, boasting, okay, boasting, I still a queen and am not a widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned in fire. So strong is the Lord God who judge her. So again, there's an example of death number 3. When Esau boasts, and our people also boast too. Okay? And as you can see with the 3 examples I brought out, when I brought the first one out in Luke, okay, with the rich man that wanted to expand his rich, and so he came up with a plan on how he's going to diversify his wealth. But he never turned and say, you know, give glory and honor to Yahweh Shema Shai, or even distribute that wealth, some of it, to the poor. Okay? He's just looking at generational wealth. And the Lord took his life. We saw again in Isaiah, okay, where Esau wants to ascend to the heights of being like the Most High Yahweh Shema Shai, and the Lord is going to do what? Bring him down into hell, which is bring him from his lofty, prideful ways. He's going to be a base of man, which he was created to be a base of man. He's going to be back in that Lord again. And in Revelation, you can see the empire, the Edomite empire, okay, which is ruled over by the so-called white man, Esau, the Edomite, okay, boasts about never having been invaded, never having experienced famine or disease or pestilence like the rest of the nations on this earth. Is going to get that judgment, which is going to bring massive amount of debt. Now let's go into the 4th example of debt. This is the book of Malachi, and we can see here with Malachi 1 and 4. Book of Malachi 1 and 4. This wind is very, very annoying. It is so annoying. It just never stops up here. Book of Malachi 1 and 4. And we can see here. Actually, let's go to the book of Malachi 1 and starting with verse 3. Because we can see here, if Esau is bragging about what he's going to do, the one thing he had not considered is this. The book of Malachi 1, start verse 3, and it says, And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shema Shai, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall be called them, the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, had indignation forever. So the Lord has a grudge against Esau, no matter what. But, again, being the righteous power, Esau has to have his chance to be on this earth, to rule in the wickedness, to basically destroy as much of the nations as he possibly can, okay, to rule over the Hebrew Israelites in perpetual wickedness, oppress us, kill us, murder us, all these horrible things that they have done to us, okay, continue to do to us, okay, before the Lord destroy his kingdom, okay, to the point where it's described as a wilderness where the strangest of strange creatures, dragons, will be habitating, okay, here in Great Babylon, America, once it's destroyed. Now, we see that the Lord made it very clear his feelings with Esau, and the fact that he's watched Esau do exactly what he said he would do. Esau did turn around and he built desolate places. Look at this entire, the whole world belongs to Esau. He rules and controls it. He does as he sees fit, when he sees fit. But the Lord is about to take this all down. And Lord willing, we get to actually see this in person. So when you take a look at Jake, Jake is constantly trying to self-graft himself into other cultures. And we can see this throughout the scriptures. Okay, but Jake is trying to constantly self-graft. Okay, and I want to bring a lesson of that this week about grafting, how Jake's try to graft into, you know, Edomite society. We've all done it. We've all done it. I can speak to myself about it. Okay? But we can see where this in itself is a horrible snare, and it doesn't turn out good at all. Okay? This is 1 John 2, and it's verse 15, and it reads, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all day that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth all the will of the power abideth forever. So we made it very clear that you're not to love the world. You can't understand this truth or even believe in this truth if you still love the world. It just doesn't work. And there's an example of that currently going on, where I've been speaking to someone that I knew for over a decade right now, experiencing some tribulation, you know, and no matter how much I bring up the scripture to him, or, hey, you know, the judgment that you're getting right now is from the Lord, he's not understanding, he's not getting it. So guess what? I'm not going to speak or waste my time with that person. Basically, I blocked their number. I'm not going to talk with him because it's a waste of time. Because he loves the world. He's got that pride on him. He's got that pride on him of what he's going to do, you know, in the future. What he's going to do, you know, after he's finished with the current mission that he's in right now. And it has nothing to do with doing the work of the Lord. Okay? He's more into the prophetess or the women preaching out there on the internet, you know, that secular type, okay, Christianity way of life. And because of that, he's blocked from getting this truth. The Lord has blocked him from obtaining this. The Lord has blocked him. Basically, he's been blocked. Okay? He's the one that actually took the jump juice. Even though I warned him about that. But he's unwilling to walk away from his little position. Okay? He can't see any other way than what he's been conditioned to in this place. Okay? Which is, if you are not serving the so-called white man, you will not make it. But clearly it says right here, that the world, the fashions of this world is going to pass away. This world is going to pass away. It's short-lived. Okay? It's short-lived. Esau rulership is short-lived. Okay? So Jake is constantly trying to drive in. You know, they'll take something like Hebrew Israelite and with the fringes, and it becomes a fashion statement out here in Great Babylon, America. So basically, what I like to term it, they're Babylonian Israelites, okay? Basically, Hebrew Israelites, American Hebrew Israelites, pretty much. Okay, they think it's a fashion. Okay, the fringes. Okay, the shirt. They even put fringes on the car, the dogs, everything. You know, and that's because they're forming these wayward camps that is really going to tell them that coming into this truth and this knowledge really actually is a fearful thing, because of the fact that you understand now, we have pissed off our power. We have pissed off our king. We have pissed off our power, our God. The one that created everybody and created everything, but at the same time, we were his favorite people that he gave the laws to, and we pissed him off. And there's a recompense for it. There's a judgment that's coming for it. Two-thirds of us are going to be killed. 6, but every 10 Jake is going to be put to death here in Great Babylon, America. And we're praying we're not part of that. We're not part of that group that's going to be put to death, and he's going to suffer the famine, the anguish, the oppression, you know, the persecution, you know, which is going to be a different kind of persecution that they're going to be bringing on to the left. We already know that they're going to come at us and call us or label us certain things. And even in this truth, you can have guys, whether you're in GMS or not, are going to scatter like doggone cockroaches. You can have 20 guys behind you, but when the trouble comes, you might look around, you might see 1 or 2 left. The rest of them scattered like damn cockroaches. Hey, no more barbecue, no more fun. You know, no more of that grab ass brotherhood shit. You know, phony ass crap. they ain't stand there with you. And that's a realistic expectation. Okay? That's a realistic expectation that we all going to be put in a position, and some of us are not going to make it out of it. Some of us are going to break. Some of us might break. Okay? Only the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, have control of that. None of us do. So, love, take them trying to graft into the world. Now, let's take a look at his life, the life cycle of death when we go into poor words, and we can see how this actually turns out. Because if you're trying to graft into the world, it only is going to lead to death. When you go to Proverbs 1, starting with verse 21, it reads, she cried. Let's start with verse 20. It says, wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the streets. She cried in the chief places of the concourse and the openings of the gates in the city. She uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in the scorning of fools hate knowledge? But brothers right now are teaching on some street, or in downtown, in the city, or some street corner, on the building, on the tree, whatever. Okay? We saw it yesterday. Y'all brothers teach on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the street corners. Even some brothers go daily on the street corners and preach. All they do is camps. Okay? Others do a mixture of camps and lessons. But nonetheless, okay, a lot of the prophets that are out there says, turn ye at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you, I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and ye refuse, I stretch my hand, and no man regarded. This is stretching of the hands right here. I mean, do I really have to set up a table, or the brothers have to really set up a table of cookies and water and treats in order to get people to come up? No, we're not that kind of organized, we're not that kind of church. We're not. I'm not setting up no damn cookie, no water for you to come up here. If you don't come up here, it's because the Lord don't want you to hear us. Okay? It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Alright? It says, but ye have set at naught all my counsel and none of my proof. I also will laugh at your calamity, I will walk in your fear coming. When your fear coming as desolation, and your destruction coming as whirlwind, when your distress and anguish coming upon you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. So you're not going to find the man of the Lord out here when all that breaks loose. So when Trump being shot in the head, okay, yesterday, and a lot of brothers are bringing out videos of the fact that this could lead to civil unrest, or that civil war, that seditions amongst men that we always talk about. Strange how they came up with that movie, you know, Civil War. I believe World War I started because of an assassination. I have to get more factual content on that, but I think it started with an assassination in World War I. So you have the possibility of a civil war, and a war things get destroyed. Logistics is hampered or impacted. This creates a mild famine. Now, keep in mind, a famine isn't going to be everybody starving. But if you can't afford groceries, basically you're in a famine. Okay, so when food triple or quadruple in prices it is right now, which is very high, and this household can't afford it, that household can't afford it, okay, they're going to look at the household that seems to be able to afford it and raid them. People are going to be coming to your house and raiding your house looking for substance to eat. People are going to be looking at people that look like they're well off. Okay, and those people who look like they're well off with the flashy cars and, you know, walking around pompous, you know, I got it, you don't, it's going to become a target. And this is where humility is very important. Don't brag about what you got to nobody or to the world. They're going to see what you got. Because people are going to turn around, you know, you got guys walking around wearing watches that are like $1 million or like $500,000, or jewelry that's like, you know, $300,000-400,000. Well, wait a minute. Somebody's gonna look at that and take out your entourage you have, your bodyguards, whatever, if you have them. Okay, and we seen this happen in Nipsey Hussle. All these cats, they make it, but then they go back into the ghetto and the hood trying to act like they're cool, or they're looking for that admiration from essentially dogs. But these dogs turn around, they're not looking at you with admiration and go, hey man, you made it, congratulations. No, they're looking at you confidence and envy and looking at you with an evil, wicked eye to kill you. That's what Jason don't understand. You can't trust nobody. Okay, you can't. And so with this civil war or whatever comes out of this incident that takes place, if it's going to become something that's going to expand, we are going to see that the people that this really is going to impact is going to be the poor, which is our so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Latinos. And we told you. And that's why we're going to laugh, because we told you. You're going to go out there, you're going to attempt to take what is in yours, Jake. You're going to attempt to steal and do what Jake does. And eventually these tribes are going to turn, okay, and retaliate. And it's going to be a horrible time for the children of Israel, okay? So we see a life cycle of death here, because when you are stubborn, it is going to be to death. Let's go into, likewise, we can see other examples of that when we go into Isaiah. This is continuing on with Jake, okay? This is continuing on with Jake. This is Isaiah 1 and 5, and it reads, why should you be stricken anymore? We will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. Again, sick. Jake is sick, hard-headed, stubborn, okay? Self-glorifying himself, okay? Wants to be a part of Great Babylon America. They want to be grafted into it. The Lord is no longer going to put us into captivity anymore. He simply is going to do what? He simply is going to destroy the rebellious, okay, sons and daughters of Yasharallah. When we go into Zechariah 13, we can see this, how this is going to take place here. Zechariah 13 and 8, it reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a third shall be left therein. So that third is going to be the one that's going to be laughing. Okay? They heed the warnings. So the third part is going to be laughing, while the two parts are catching hell. As I read in Proverbs 1, verse 21, where, they're going to be grinding their teeth, they're going to be, the judgment is going to come like a whirlwind. It's going to be one problem after the other. By the time they try to figure out to solve one problem, another one is on top of them, until they have so much that's going to overwhelm them. You ain't getting food. You can't pay your rent. You can't pay for your driver's license, so now your driver's license is suspended. You can't pay the taxes in your car, so your car can't get registered. You can't pay for food, so now you're hungry and you may have to go steal food. Okay? You can't pay your child support. So they're garnishing your wages, but you're already poor already, okay? You're gonna be out the street. If you're out the street, you don't have an address. If you don't have an address and you're out of a job, you can't get a job without an address. You can't get a job without access to the internet or phone. You certainly can't go for a job interview smelling like doggone dog poop because you haven't taken a bath or taken a shower in days, or you haven't washed your clothes. You see how this is going to it's just going to continue on and on and on. You can't sleep in your vehicle because people are knocking on your car, smashing your window while you're trying to sleep, okay, to steal whatever they can get from you. If you're going to sleep outside in a freaking doggone encampment down, you have cockroaches, rats, centipedes, scorpions, snakes, needles, okay, that might prick you, that might inject disease or narcotics into you. Or the people that are in those encampments turn around and rob you. You're going to get into fights. You're going to be, the trouble that's going to is going to be so overwhelming that you are going to finally admit that you need the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, and you will scream, help me, Jesus, which, in order you don't want to know the true name, so you scream, help me, Jesus, which the Lord knows you're trying to call on Him, really. Okay? Help me, Jesus. And He's going to ignore you. Because why? You ignore His prophets. You ignore the men that He sent out here on the highway and the byway. As simple as we look. I don't look like anything. I don't care. I really don't care the opinion of these people. No matter what, just like all the other brothers out there, you go out there and you go do the work. At the end of the day, you work in your own salvation. Really, that's what it comes down to. So it is a selfish way when you're in this ministry, you gotta be selfish. Hey man, you don't be camp, hey, that's fine with you. You don't do lesson, that's your prerogative. I encourage you, but hey, it's your prerogative. You wanna be a nigga, the fringes, that's your prerogative. At the end of the day, this is about you. And if anyone is gonna distract you from it, get rid of them. I don't care who the hell it is. If they have a job to do. The mission is this. This is all the mission. No pokey, stop, rabbis, buddy, BFF thing here. Everybody's going to be BFF in the kingdom. But for right now, the mission is simple. Get out there and preach against this place. The destruction that's coming here. Warn the rebellious children of Israel. Okay, and give comforting words for the 1/3. Okay? Which in turn, we all give comforting words to each other. Let's close over the book of Proverbs 1. And we're going to see how this actually just comforted in itself. Proverbs 1. And this is 28. Because as all those things are going by, you have Jake's them calling on the Lord and says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shemah Shai. So unless you have the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shemah Shai, you will not hearken unto the words. Now, we're going to watch and see what's going to take place with what happened with Trump here in Great Babylon, okay, yesterday. I'm quite sure you can have a lot of analysts looking at it. You know, there could be a lot of talk. You know, and we understand that the wicked is really trying to bring out something early on. But the Lord controls the deeds of men. So, until the Lord make it where there's going to be a civil war, okay, it's not that damn thing is going to happen. See, Esau's trying to artificially bring on the famine. He's trying to artificially bring on civil unrest. Okay, so that in this chaos, they can somehow go after the Hebrew Israelites in the midst of the chaos. Because if you have a lot of chaos going on, like unrest and wars and shit, it's easy to go take out Jake, and nobody would blink an eye or raise an eyebrow because they can be thinking, well, there's a civil war going on. That's supposed to happen. No. Esau is trying to create a situation in which they can go and kill massive amount of the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. This isn't about doggone red state and blue state. This is about how can we create a situation and in that situation, with all the chaos going, with nobody paying attention of the amount of death that's going to take place. You know, where you might have little groups of Edomites fighting against each other like that. But somehow, all these jakes are being put to death. Watch and see, because you see the devil works in a lot of really weird ways that the rest of the world don't comprehend or don't see. Because naturally they hate us to begin with. But we see it. When we see it, we shout it out. Because our duty is watching to warn our people. And when I talk about our people, we're warning 2/3 about the danger of the sword, but mainly they'll also have the 1/3 stay in check and continue without fear of the Lord Yahweh Shemah Shai. And always remember that He's the only one that can guarantee our safety on the Great Babylon America. So Lord willing, the elect was edified, like close like an altar and to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Kakabash. Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, Shalom.